Hello and welcome back. So we're going to be talking about some strategies here for Dragon Isle. This one is going to be about curses. I was going to talk about the charms at the same time, but I think we should focus just on curses to help you out. So if you are struggling, I hope this is helpful. These are my strategies and my tips to not only catch the pets in here, but also to go ahead and survive when you are climbing up. Now, we're going to be talking about a couple different periods. If you're a newer player, then you will probably be catching pets from Rift 1, maybe up to Rift 4. Once you are established level 100, most of your pets are level 100, then probably 4 on to 9 or 10 would be the place where you can probably get, the most pets that you are, the rare pets, the ultimate member pets, all of the starter pets, all of the exciting ones. And so we're going to talk about some curses that will help you with that. And then we'll also talk about some of the curses that I suggest choosing. So first we're going to be talking about the best curses for pet catching. And there are some ones that are very, very helpful for that. Now the number one perk for pet catching, or I guess curse, is Enemy Phoenix. Enemy Phoenix, so if you accidentally kill an enemy, then they will revive one time with 20% hearts, so you'll have a chance to get them again. That's amazing. That's awesome. Now, it's extremely helpful once you knock them out to go ahead and have that ability to go ahead and get them again. Enemy Survivor is also very, very effective because you have to hit it twice in order to send it out of battle. So once you hit the enemy, it will either go down to 1 heart or 0 hearts, and then you have the opportunity to catch it from there. Both extremely, extremely effective. Let's go ahead and get into one of these rifts as we talk through this stuff. I'm on Rift 20. Rift 21 is next. So they definitely go above 20. We have Reflect Storm. So we'll just go ahead and enter this battle, and I'll do what I can as I talk my way through these. So those are extremely helpful. The other random spells that are curses that are useful, I would say, for this pet catching, really have to deal with the focusing on not choosing the element that your pet is, so you don't unintentionally harm the pet. So you don't want to hit it too hard, right? And so those are the ones for pet catching that are extremely useful. Now we also have some other random ones, which is cooldown minimum, which means that every single spell that your team has a minimum of 2 rounds that it takes to recharge the spell. I was afraid of this one. It's not that big a deal, and I choose it regularly now. I thought it was going to be absolutely gigantic, but it's not. And so that is extremely, extremely effective. I enjoy that one, and I can use random spells. It doesn't inhibit my ability to catch. Gearless is really fun, especially if you get it early and it is an early round. Don't do it when it's high, but it's really, really fun to do. And then Poison is really devastating, so I would avoid taking Poison. After every round, your team gets a certain percentage taken away from them every single round for the entire Rift. That's tough. Timeout, I'm perfectly fine with that. Currently, I have 4 seconds in Rift 20 for timeout, so you have to be very focused with your battles if you do choose that one. But if you're focused, if you know what's coming up, if you plan the attacks that your pets are going to have in your head before, it's very, very easy. So you're basically just if it's a ice spell, it would go here and on and on. And so if you think it through, it's not bad. Target randomizer is extremely frustrating for me. I like to know where my spells are going. So if I'm doing an AoE group and it's towards the end, I might pick that just because if it's all AoE, it's not really going to be that big of a deal. And let's go ahead and choose this, and then we're going to bring in Griff Room, and then we're also going to take in the second because they're all plant. We're going to go ahead and bring in the second. Where are you? You're right about here. Ledge of Bloom, and there we go. And so those are the random ones. Now the others are split up into some basic categories. There are the absorb curses, where if you launch your spell, that type of spell, at someone, then it's going to heal them for a certain percent. It starts at about 50%, I believe, and then after 50%, it steadily increases until they are it's 95% of the spell right now currently for me. So it gets extremely insane. These are very tough. I would avoid them unless you're not planning on not using this spell. Once you choose an absorb, you can't use that spell at all, or you are healing instead of actually finishing off the team. So definitely avoid those. And let's go ahead and see. So after the absorb spells, this is probably the lowest on the totem pole for me. I try to avoid those. Enemy magic can be a little bit challenging because they're going to be hitting you harder. Towards the end, if you get stuck on a rift, avoid those as well if you can, or choose a team that doesn't have that magic. Because it gets extremely tough once they are hitting. So if you are struggling, avoid enemy magic up as well. And that means that the particular type of magic of element is going to be hitting you for a certain percentage. I believe now I might be up to 25 or 30% increase for that. So I definitely avoid those. I simply can't take it. For our last one, we are going to go ahead and do... Let's see, absorb plant we're going to stay away from. We're going to be using ice, and let's see, let's try to find a little bit of storm. I'm not seeing much storm in here, so we are going to go ahead and not reflect fire. We'll do enemy plants up, and then we'll go ahead and do our AoE team, and I think that should do it. So our next is going to be enemy stat up curses. These aren't bad at the beginning. Towards the end, the enemy stat curses can be quite powerful, and generally you want to avoid those. If this video is helpful, let me know. I'll do some rankings of these as to what is the most unbearable, and then what is a little bit less better. Magic down, I don't really have a problem with magic down too much. It is easy to go ahead and just plan your team around. You can still use the magic. It's not going to be reflected back at you, and it's not going to be absorbed. So I think that using magic down, I will choose magic down. It's not that big a deal. And if there's this particular type of magic that you avoid, then choosing that is good. So for me, I don't really use shadow, so shadow down or shadow absorb or shadow reflect. I'll choose those. Water, since it's an unreliable spell, I also will go ahead and look at that, select it, and so that's another option for me as I look through there. Now, the reflect curses means that if you use that magic, it's going to be coming back at you. So choosing the reflect or the absorb basically means you're not using that magic type at all anymore. And so just sort of something to be aware of, that you won't be focusing on that, you won't be using it. All right, let's do our shooting stars here. And I'm not sure if we're going to make it through this one. We'll have to see. And those are the reflecting curses. Every spell you cast is going to hit you. If you do an AoE, it's going to hit every one of your team. So the reflecting curses, definitely stay away from those. And then stat down curses at the beginning aren't too big a deal, but what it does is it lowers your statistics by a certain amount. And so if your statistics get lowered by that amount, then you're pretty much finished. And there we go. I am also finished here. So the curses get extremely intense, and we will get them next time. I hope this was helpful, sort of understanding what these are, how they work, and which ones I would suggest for both for pet catching and then also to generally avoid. The stat up curses, really, actually both stat curses start to get extremely tough, and then the reflect and the absorb, you're basically, if you choose those, you're saying that you're not going to use that spell whatsoever. And so that's something to think about, because if you do end up accidentally choosing that spell, then you're going to be damaging your team or healing the other team. So really think through the curses, and this should be helpful progressing through these rifts. And yeah, if this is helpful and you'd like for me to go into a little more detail with these curses, I am more than happy to. Just be sure to like the video, sub, and let me know if that is something you would be interested in the comments. Take care, keep on prodigying on. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye-bye.